You would rather deal with customer complaints on the weekend than attend another company team building event. And this isn't even about being antisocial. If a group of friends spontaneously plan a hike, you'd probably be the first to sign up. But this is different. Your brain can tell the difference between I want to go and I'm forced to go. That one word difference changes everything. Your brain sees mandatory team building as a threat. For 5 psychological reasons. The last one surprises even the organizers. But first, there's the HR icebreaker games. Cringe enough to dig a hole with your toes. There's the manager's toast. If you don't drink, you're disrespecting me. There's the coworkers' parenting stories. And mortgage details you never asked for. If any of this makes your scalp tingle, we need to talk. Start with the deepest layer. You walk into the venue's suburban resort, downtown private room. Air smells of disinfectant or cheap fragrance. A microphone squeals. In the 10 seconds you set down your bag, you're no longer yourself. You're not the professional who holds your own in client meetings. You're the newcomer who was called onto the stage. Thinking, please don't let it be me. That's not just social anxiety. That's role recall. Organizational systems theory says a team is an emotional unit. Everyone is assigned a role: morale booster, workhorse, troublemaker, invisible. You didn't get it through an interview, the system assigned it. And team building is the system's most effective role recall mechanism. At your desk with headphones, you feel independent. But team building pulls everyone into the same bus, same table, same games. No hierarchy, no KPIs. Just slogans. It's the system gently reminding you, play your role. UCLA research shows familiar group settings reactivate old neural pathways. Your amygdala responds as it did when you were a newcomer. That's not a metaphor, it's chemical. Your body warns you early. Anxiety days before, restless Sunday, extra minutes in the parking lot. That's your nervous system saying, I have to play that role again. What drains you most isn't playing the role, it's pretending you're not. So you sit there. Icebreakers: imitate an animal, share a secret, stare without laughing. You play along, you smile, you help someone else. You act like a good coworker. No one sees anything wrong. But that's not socializing, it's performing. Arlie Hochschild called it emotional labor, managing emotions to meet role expectations. At team building, you don't want to play games, but you act willing. You don't want the stories, but you smile. You don't want the drink, but you need an excuse to bow out. You think it's socializing, but it's labor, no KPIs, no overtime, unseen. In an experiment, people who acted enthusiastic had higher cortisol afterward. You don't need the study. You know the drained feeling after team building. Worse, your brain scans for threats. A coworker says, you worked hard, sincere or sarcastic. A manager says, young people need motivation, hinting at overtime. Team building blurs formal boundaries into a vague, relaxed scene. You never know what will be remembered or how it's read. Columbia Neuroscience found social exclusion activates the same pathways as physical pain. Feeling left out at team building literally hurts. So coming home exhausted isn't an exaggeration. But maybe the hardest part is the voice afterward. Everyone else went, why am I the only one struggling? The manager meant, well, am I too cold? Others go along, why can't I? That's guilt, and it cycles. Guilt for making excuses before, for not enjoying it during, for leaving early, for feeling relieved after. You can't tell if you're protecting yourself or just avoiding. No one taught you the difference. Team building becomes a gray zone. Can't escape, can't fit in. You're not alone, but you process it alone. So what can you do? You don't have to solve everything. Try these. First, set a boundary. Go, but decide in advance how long you can handle. 3 hours? No overnight? Skip the drinks? You don't need to announce it. Just know it. A boundary is protection, not provocation. Second, bring an anchor. An object, a plan, an exit. Drive yourself instead of the bus. or schedule a call at a set time. Knowing when it ends gives you control. Third, participate selectively. You don't have to go every time. Choose what feels meaningful or safe. Skip what feels purely draining. You have that right. One person skipped all dinners for 3 years. Then he went for 90 minutes and left before feeling agitated. He realized he didn't dislike his coworkers. He hated the rule that you must stay until the end. Now he attends only what he wants, no excuses. When someone says, "It's team building," you can say, "I know. I participate in a way that feels genuine to me." That's enough. Team building isn't the problem, it's being framed as voluntary when it's mandatory. Called relaxing when it's emotional labor. Called bonding when it's role recall. You're not cold or antisocial. You have a normal brain that says, "I won't drain myself where boundaries and self are blurred." If you sit in the car for 5 minutes beforehand, that's normal. If you need a full weekend to recover, that's normal. No need to explain or apologize. Next time you walk in, smell the disinfectant, hear the microphone squeal. See the familiar setup, you'll know. You'll know what your brain is doing, why your body tenses, where the exhaustion comes from. You're not trapped. You're navigating a system that wants you to play a role, while holding on to the self that refuses to be assigned one. That's not weakness, it's clarity. If this resonates, share it with someone who rides the subway home in silence after team building. They're probably thinking the same thing.